With me this morning is Christine Anderson. Christine is a family farmer and the owner of Cast Iron Farm in McMinnville. Christine and Cast Iron Farm are the plaintiffs in this case. I'm going to give a few words this morning. I'll be followed by Christine, and after that we'd be happy to take any questions that you might have. This morning, on behalf of Christine Anderson and Cast Iron Farm, the Institute for Justice filed a free speech lawsuit in federal court challenging Oregon's unconstitutional ban on the advertisement of raw milk. In Oregon, it's perfectly legal for small-scale farmers like Christine to sell raw milk on their farm, but they are flatly prohibited from advertising it. That means no roadside sign at the farm saying we've got raw milk. It means no newspaper advertisement in the local paper. It means a farmer cannot even have the price of her milk on her farm's website. And violating the ban comes at a heavy cost, up to $6,250 in fines and up to a year in jail. It should not be a crime to advertise a legal product. Oregon's advertising ban harms farmers and consumers alike. The ban harms farmers because you cannot run a successful business if you can't talk about it. And the ban harms consumers because it prevents them from obtaining truthful and accurate information about products in the marketplace. Fortunately, the First Amendment protects the right of farmers and other entrepreneurs to advertise their products. And the U.S. Supreme Court has repeatedly struck down similar advertising bans on other products. We expect the courts to do the same in this case. Christine is part of a growing nationwide movement of small-scale food entrepreneurs and consumers who are tired of the government making their food decisions for them, of government dictating what foods they can grow, sell, and eat. That is why this morning, the Institute for Justice is also launching its National Food Freedom Initiative. Along with Christine's case, we have filed two additional cases. One concerned challenging the state of Minnesota's severe restrictions on cottage food producers, entrepreneurs who produce homemade baked goods and home canned goods in their home for sale. The other case challenges the city of Miami Shores, Florida's ban on front yard vegetable gardens. With these cases and future cases, the Institute for Justice will end the government's meddlesome and unconstitutional interference in our food choices so that Americans can once again be free to produce, market, procure, and consume the foods of their choice. And with that, I'll hand it over to Christine for a few words.
Thank you. I'm really excited to be here today. I am very happy to be working at the Institute for Justice on this case. I am a seventh-generation farmer. I grew up on a farm. I grew up with cattle. Milking cows and raising cows is all that I've ever known. And I find it ridiculous in Oregon that while I'm able to sell milk to consumers, I'm not able to talk about it at all. Last year, I was visited by the Oregon Department of Agriculture, and they asked me to remove information from my website as it was construed as advertising. Since that time, I've talked to other raw milk producers, and it's just so hard. The word advertising is so vague. It's so hard to know whether what you are saying or doing could be construed as advertising. And all I'm trying to do is run a successful business. I'm trying to milk cows. I've worked very, very hard over the past number of years. I've been producing milk since 2008. In March of this year, I was listed with the Raw Milk Institute, which is an organization that is devoted to teaching and educating producers on how to produce raw milk very safely. I test my milk very rigorously. All of my tests have come back with excellent results, and I would like to be able to communicate to my customers and the people of Oregon that this is a product that I produce, this is something that is legal for me to produce, and these are the lengths that I go to create very safe raw milk for consumption of the Oregon people. So again, I'm really excited to be here. I'm excited to push over this ban to be able to talk about the things that I do because I'm very proud of my work.
Thanks. We'd be happy to field any questions you might have, either I or Christine.
How does this compare to like Washington State, for example?
in Washington State, it is legal. Raw milk is legal, but it is on a grade A basis. So Washington producers have to go through the process to become grade A, certified and inspected to be able to sell milk. So they are on the same terms as a commercial producer.
Can you go that route? Can you get certified a certain grade and then be able to advertise?
No, in the state of Oregon, it is only legal to become certified a grade A raw dairy if you milk goats, not if you milk cows.
That sounds kind of...
Yeah. There's, yeah. Yes?
How many other farmers are trying to sell raw milk?
I couldn't speak with authority on the exact number, but I know of probably 100 people in the state of Oregon that produce milk, both cow, sheep, and goat, who, but again, it's hard to find a producer if they can't advertise, so you never really know how many of us there are.
Do you have the option of selling your milk or pasteurizing it or have someone else pasteurize it? Is that an option? Or?
That's not an option, no. I can inform customers on how to pasteurize their own milk, but if I wanted to pasteurize milk, I would have to go the route of becoming a pasteurized grade A dairy.
So what are you going to do? Let's say this lawsuit isn't successful, or what are you doing now? How do you adapt?
How do I adapt? Well, I started milking very slowly, and it was a word-of-mouth basis. One person knew I was milking because they were a friend, and they would tell a friend, and so I've just grown my business on a word-of-mouth basis, but I would like to be able to. I have a 5,000-word document that explains all of the things that I go to, the lengths that I go to create and produce this milk, and I can't put that on my website. So it would be nice to be able to communicate what I do and how I do it to potential people, and it also makes it safer for the potential customer looking for milk, because if they run into my website, even if they're not going to buy milk from me, then they're more educated on what practices they might look for if they were going to go get milk somewhere else.
Is there a large market for raw milk?
I believe there is, but again, it's difficult to tell. It's difficult to talk to other producers and know what they are. But I field at least one phone call per day for people looking for raw milk. So.
All right.
Can you spell your name for me? Say your name and spell it for me.
Christine Anderson. It's Christine, and Anderson, Anderson.
And I'm sure you mentioned at the beginning, but can you say the name of your farm?
Cast Iron Farm.
Right. Thank you. Where's that located?
McMinnville.
Okay. Thanks.
No problem.
Thank you.
All right. Oh, you probably said it. Just go ahead and say your name.
Sure. My name is Michael Bindus, and that is spelled Bindas.
And which firm you with?
I'm with the Institute for Justice, which is a nonprofit public interest law firm.
Yeah, you said that.